Houston to Kansas to Chicago.
What's good?
Hip hop and R&B.
All day. In Chicago 77.3. Yeah.
Hi, this is Dawn Airhart Witte, and I'm rocking with DJ Malone.
Yeah, they.
Turn your speakers up.
Hey, man.
This is Chicago 77.3.
Right now.
Get in tune.
It's the one and only DJ Malone, man. Chicago 77.3, the best place to be at on any day, really. How you guys doing today, man? This lovely summer day. It's where I'm at right now. I'm in Houston right now, and it's hot. It's like 101, and I'm not really feeling that. But with all that being said, I'm still giving you guys people on the rise and people on the move and people I just want to talk to. So the next person I got coming up, and I really enjoy the situation that she has, because I think in this world we need that type of vibe and environment, and it's a good book. So I want you guys to get in tune with everything. Go introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, well, thank you, DJ Malone, for having me. My name is Dawn Airhart Witte, and I am the founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation, and I wrote a book called Be several years ago, and all of the work that I do is centered around who we choose to be in the world. And I've chosen 7 words that I think that if we all chose to be those things, that we could live happy, productive, amazing lives full of purpose and be the change we wish to see in the world.
Okay, I like that. That's what's up. Now, I really like what just stands by and everything else like that. But I want people to learn about who Dawn is before anything. So, give us the basic 411 about you.
Well, the thing I've done, the thing I associate with the most is being a mom. I have 2 daughters. I loved raising my daughters, and they're adults now. So when they got older and were in college and everything, I had to look at my life and just say, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? I was helping them reach their dreams and, things like that, but I forgot what mine were because I was so focused on raising them. So I traveled to Africa, and I just loved the people there, and I loved the inspiration they brought to me. I wanted to bring that same inspiration back home with me while still helping them there. So everything I do is about helping uplift humanity.
I like the fact that you bring that up, and I know that you're from the States. What part of the States are you from?
I live in Los Angeles.
Okay, cool. So now, and this is what's crazy to me. Whenever I go, and I've been out of the country once, and it ain't been nothing crazy. It's just been to Canada, but it's just one of them things where I think perception-wise, we look at America looks at things so differently than how other countries look at us, or it's crazy. It's just relatively, it's different. Would you say that?
It is. I find that, we've been so very blessed in this country compared to other places around the world, a lot of other places around the world. And the depression rates, the suicide rates, the anxiety, all of that is so rampant here. And you would think that the people that are living, struggling for things like clean water and food on a day-to-day basis would be more susceptible to things like depression and that. But they are not. They're generous, and they're joyous, and they're grateful and loving. And it's so beautiful to watch that. But I look at the dichotomy, and I think there's a missing piece that we're missing.
Yes. And I think I can't pinpoint it on what it is, but I just think that we don't see the bigger picture of the whole situation. I think a lot of times we're so tied into materialistic things and what people may think of us, and I think that's where a lot of things come into play at.
Absolutely. I think that has a lot to do with it. I wrote my book about 7 words, and one of the words is being grateful. And I think there's a lot of not understanding how very blessed that we are. Just the fact that we have a roof over our heads, or we can open up our refrigerator and have food in there, or, that we have running water, we have access to running water. Those are things that I used to take for granted. I don't know how many times I would open the refrigerator, it's full of stuff, and I'm like, well, there's nothing here to eat. That kind of mindset I've really shifted because of, just being amongst that gratitude.
I like that. That's what's up. All right. So now let's go a little bit more deeper. When did you know that this is something as an author that you knew? Okay, I want to pursue writing full time. I want to take this as a career.
I've always loved writing. Writing was something I've always enjoyed doing. And I never really thought of being an author as a career. In my younger days, I thought, writing a book sounds cool. But it was when my daughters were older, I remember I read this article, and it was a message to his daughters for, one day when he's no longer here, the things that he really wanted them to know. And I thought, one day I will no longer be here, and there are certain things that I really want my daughters to understand about, how they show up in the world. So I wrote them down, and I thought, this would be a good book to share with other people if I think that they're in those important messages. So it just kind of started from, again, the love of my children.
Hey, and I think that's where a lot of things form from. And when we talk about, this may kind of be a little bit deep here, but when we talk about generational wealth, that's like kind of on all levels. It's like passing on the torch to your kids, and then they pass on the torch to their kids, and it just it becomes a generational thing. So kudos to you for even putting those breadcrumbs in there.
Well, I love that you called it generational wealth because, again, we think of wealth as being money, and wealth is more than just money.
Yes, it is.
And what we do here on this earth is bigger than just making money.
Exactly. And I always used to say my family is rich in the sense of love. We didn't come up like we didn't have a lot growing up, but we loved each other very much, and that was in essence I was rich because I came home to a most of the time to a loving household. I came into a spot where people loved each other and were there for each other versus and then I think sometimes when perspectives it all falls into place.
Absolutely. I say, money is a currency, but my highest currency, my greatest currency is love. And so, money is something that we need to exist. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a neutral thing. It's just a thing that we use. But I think love is the reason that we even exist. So that is what I focus all my time, effort, and energy on. It's just being more love in the world.
Hey, I like that. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty to the book. Now, B. Now, I know that you when you came from out of the country, you had a different outlook on everything. But how does that translate on a book, and where do you start to place that on a book?
Well, I actually wrote the book before I went to Africa because these words were really. They were deep in my soul. I actually, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to name it, because I'd written a bunch of quotes, and the book is a bunch of quotes, because I love quotes. I feel like I've got a little bit of a attention deficit disorder these days. So, reading a really poignant quote is so much better than reading 5 chapters of a book. So I wrote it in quotes, and when I was trying to figure out how to organize these quotes, I thought, there are the 7 deadly sins, and that is something they tell us not to be. Those are things not to do. I wanted to create the opposite of that. I wanted to pick 7 words that I thought if we could all choose to be these words, our life would be amazing. So it's like the antidote. I know there's the seven I don't know the name of it, but there's another 7 virtues, I think. But this is not the 7 virtues, but it's my 7 words.
Okay. And these are and I like the fact that you kind of put them into memoirs or kind of like you said, quotes. And I think in this day of age, people's attention spans is very short and everything. I'm interested to know. Were you ever worried about timing as time went on when you first wrote this, and then now that the book is out? Was there ever a time where you felt like, well, maybe it's going to sound dated, or the world is not in that place at that time?
I know the world is not in this place at this time, and I feel like there's even more of a reason that these words need to be out there. I think right now, especially, after the last couple of years, we've gone through so much strife globally. I think that there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of fear, and I want my books and all the work that I do to be uplifting and give people hope, because, I think there's a lot of that lacking right now.
Okay, I like that. Now, is it out yet, or is it on Amazon, or where is it at right now?
It is on Amazon, yes. All my books are on Amazon. And if you look up my name, Dawn Witte, Witte, if you look it up, all my books should come up.
Okay. And then this is not just one of your, this is just one of your books. How many books in total have you written?
I've written 7. My favorite one is the second one we did, and it's The Little Book of Bee, and we wrote it specifically. I was getting ready to go on my second trip to Africa, so we wrote it for the children in Africa, and to date, we've given out about 2,500 copies to children in 5 different countries in Africa.
Wow, that's amazing. And
it's available for free download on the Desire to Inspire Foundation website, so anybody has access to it.
Is this also an audiobook as well?
No, we don't have it in audio form, but you know what? That's a great idea.
I just ask this because I know a lot of times people, and I get scared because of this, because we're coming to an age where people are not reading anymore. So I like to hear when true authors come through and I talk to them, I like to hear that there's still penmanship going on.
There is, but, I'm equally guilty of, going to listening to my books because, you can get other things done, but there's nothing that takes the place of engaging, your eyes and your mind and, feeling the pages of a book and all that. Like it resonates different in your mind.
I like that.
So I'm never going to give up my Braille books.
Definitely. Okay. Now, as far as in the book itself, what do you want people to take away from it?
I want them to see the world in a more hopeful, positive way. I want them to come away being inspired. I want them to understand the importance of being grateful for the things they have. I want them to understand the importance of being kind and that love is why we're here. And, being happy, just the energy of being happy, when you're around a happy person, that's contagious. And being strong, life is going to throw challenges at all of us, throughout our journeys here on this earth. And so, we have to get up every time that one of those things happen and keep going. And then the importance of being genuine and being like your true authentic self in the world. I want people to take away those notions.
Okay. I like that. I do, man. Now, let me ask you a deep question. As far as you, what has something that you went through that's kind of pushed your limits a little bit and you came out stronger than what you believed?
I was married for almost 30 years, and, I was a stay-at-home mom, and so I didn't have a lot of belief in myself or my abilities in the world. And so, going to Africa, I did that the first time towards the end of my marriage, and that gave me the courage to say, hey, I started seeing myself as me instead of like my daughter's mom or my husband's wife, and it was really the first time I started believing in my own abilities in the world. And so that was something that, I want to help other people get to, because my life is just so much fuller and richer and happier.
I like that you really are going into I want to identify with myself, because a lot of times life happens, you know what I'm saying? Like we become a husband, a wife, got kids and everything else like that, and everything is pulling from different places, but then when it comes down to it, it's like I don't know, some time goes by and then it's like I don't know myself anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of people that identify themselves by their job, the work that they do, and then if they lose their job, then they don't know who they are anymore. And for me, I'm still a mom, but my daughters are adults. So I had to look at me, and I identified myself that way for so long. I didn't know who Dawn was outside of that title. And so I had to rediscover that, and it's been a marvelous journey. I'm still on it. I'm discovering things every day, learning new things about myself and the world. But, just to even be curious about that has made an extraordinary difference in my life.
That's what's up. I like that, man. I like hearing this. This has really been a good conversation. You're making my day right now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So now, I know we're at the B book, but is there any other ventures that you have going on right now?
Yes, I'm actually a few weeks away from launching my Secrets of Being course, where I help people learn the things that I've been learning over the last couple of years to get them to a place where they are more optimistic about their life and they do start pursuing their dreams instead of saying, oh, I'm too old to do that, or, how could I even possibly begin to do that? I want them to take those steps and realize those dreams.
I know a lot of times, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I know a lot of times sometimes it's just the getting out the door. And like when I started the DJing business or when I started doing radio and stuff like that, sometimes like I always would hesitate. It's like, oh, well, am I good enough, or am I ready enough, or even just going on business. Sometimes, because I always would picture, oh, is this the right time? It's never going to be the right time. You just got to go out and do it.
And there's always going to be that scary thing that you're like, the first time I had to get up and do public speaking, my knees were knocking. I could hear my voice shaking. I could not get off that stage fast enough. And I only had to talk for like 5 minutes. And today I've won awards for speaking. So had I not pushed past that scary part, and your body's physically feeling the fear, and I pushed past it anyway. And my friends and I talk about this all the time. The best things of our lives are beyond the thing that scares us. So take those scary leaps of faith, because that's where your faith comes in, and do them anyways, because that's where your best growth is.
And you have to challenge yourself, man. And I think that's what people are scared of. It's scared. You're scared of a challenge. Because it's like, in order for you to grow, it's like anything, kind of like when we were in school, we had to take tests, and then we had to challenge our minds on either remembering or understanding, or however you want to put it. We had to challenge ourselves. And so once we challenged ourselves and we figured it out, oh, well, this ain't as bad as I thought it would be, you take that knowledge with you and then you grow.
Yeah, when we first started walking, when we fell, we didn't say, oh gosh, I guess I'm not good at walking. We kept getting up and we fell a lot. And I still do sometimes, but we had to practice. And if you stop after you fail a couple times, you're never going to know success.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. Now, and I know you're doing the speaking and everything. Are you right now doing any seminars or virtual events or anything else like that?
I'm speaking at a virtual retreat at the end of August. I have my own, my own courses that I'm launching pretty soon, and we have a podcast. Our 6th episode just came out today, and it's called The Soulful Conversations. And, so I've got a lot of things going, but they all inspire me and they keep me motivated. And I love getting to do what I do.
Hey, and that's the beauty part. When you love it, that's the beauty part right there.
Exactly, yeah. And so I want people to have lives that they absolutely love living, that they wake up in the morning, it's like, what do I get to do today? Not like, what do I have to do? I want people to experience this because it's a really beautiful way to live.
Well, and it's also perception, too. And I think a lot of times when people look at it from, oh, well, I'll never get out of here, or this ain't never going to work, or whatever. It's you also, I always tell people this, you also have to put in the work too. You can't just sit there and say, oh, I want things to be better, and then not put in the work for it to get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on our podcast that just came out today, my friend reminded us of that quote that said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right either way. And I think Henry Ford said that, but it's true. So if you believe you can and you are determined to do something, even if it doesn't work this way, you pivot, you change. I don't consider it failure. It's like learning, growing. Okay, it was meant to be a different way. They say when God closes a door, he opens a window. I believe that, you keep going. even when it gets hard, because again, that's where the growth is, and you're going to push past. And if you believe you can, you will do it.
Hey, that's what's up. I've been liking the conversation, Don. I like this.
Thank you. Me too.
Well, I know we're coming down to the nitty gritty and everything, and I really do appreciate you being on here and everything. Now, just to run by, give wherever they can find you at and the book.
They can find me on Amazon. That's where my books are. It's Dawn Witte. They can connect with the work that we do with the foundation at it's desirettoinspirefoundation.org, and my upcoming website is thesecretsofbeing.com, where you can learn about our courses and the community that I'm creating.
Okay. Any works on the website on when it's going to drop or anything?
You know, it's available right now, but we have to do some DNS transfer. So now you have to put www.thesecretsofbeing.com. You can't just do. So, I mean, if you want to try that, you can find us. It's up there.
Okay. Cool. That's what's up. Ms. Dawn, I do appreciate you being on here and just talking with me and everything. I really do.
I appreciate you having me. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my crazy self.
Well, I think we all a little bit crazy.
Turn your speakers up.
Hey, man.
This is Chicago 77.3.
Right now.
Get in tune.